I'm Ron West with Clemson football. What we're fixing to do is we're fixing to see a video on the shotgun, play action, passing schemes, protection, and some of the routes. Now, what we did at Clemson, we did at Tulane. What we've done is a lot of our protections and are very similar, but more than anything, all our play actions are off our base runs. So, I did a series on the counter series with Coach's Choice. If you get that video, we have a nice play action off of that. I did a series with our zone package, and we're going to have a nice play action off the zone. Basically, we've got any run that we run, we pretty much got a play action off of it, which helps us. Then we also have a reverse off of it. We're doing another series on Coach's Choice, the reverses that we do off of our base runs. So I hope you enjoy the video. We're going to go over this and get started right now. All right, well, the shotgun play action passing scheme, the philosophy of our 300 protection series. Basically, this is a zone play that we're going to run, that we run a lot. This scheme is designed to sell the shotgun zone, the scheme, and then what we're going to do is we're going to boot away from the zone fake and run and have a pass run option. We really like this in the fast tempo style. What I was saying earlier is this is a fast tempo play that we call a lot. We may call this as an Indy 7 call, one of our Indies series that we went over in developing a no-huddle offense. That's the philosophy of this play. All right, we're going to review the shotgun play action passing schemes with protection. We'll start with protection first, and let's review protection. Everything starts up front. So let's just go over this one, which is 336, 337. And I'll come back and draw this up. Let me draw this up for you first so you can just see it. And then I'll come back and give you the rules. All right, so if we had line over 337, this is what we would get. We'd be lined up in line over 337. A lot of times we would put this formation into the boundary, fields this way. So let's say the defense came out in a structure, an even structure. Let's say they're playing us like this. Playing 7 in the box to stop the run. We'd come back and run line over 337. We have another way to call this. I did a tape earlier on Coach's Choice on the series of our tempos. We have a fast tempo. We have an Indy series. We have a speed series, which is the tempos of our offense. So we could call this play in a fast tempo style. We could call this at the line, or what we can do is we can kind of change it up on the opponent. But 337 is our zone play. So what we want to do is we want to fake our zone play with our back. So what he's going to do, more than anything, he's going to give him a hard downhill, open crossover, downhill, slightly downhill, and he's actually running the zone in a zone track. Good fake, good ball handling. Quarterback's going to take the shotgun snap. He's going to open. He's going to ride the F back right here, our F. This is our Y, this is our X, and this is our Z. So the back is responsible for the C gap. If we call 337, the left guard knows that we're running boot right. That's how I taught it from day one. So he knows he's on the left-hand side. He knows he's running boot right. So he's responsible for pulling a flat pull. He'll open, pull flat to the center's hip, and then now he's going to work off the line, and he's trying to seal the end. He's going to try to seal the end. All right, now, the center is responsible for blocking back for the guard. If the center is ever covered, he'll make a Danny call. He'll make a Danny call. So if there's a man right here on his outside edge, he'd call Danny to let that guard know that he's going backside. Our backside tackles rule is B-gap, pick. So he's going to slam the B-gap, and he's going to pick. Our play side guard, our back, this would be our play side tackle. I said backside tackle, our play side tackle, because it's 337. Our backside guard is responsible for A-gap. So he's a hard sell A-gap player, and we tell him to use a PD concept. I did a video with Coach's Choice on combo blocks. We want this to look like an aggressive combo block, and so we want to attack more of the inside of the man and secure the A-gap, because the tackle's going to be a firm B-gap player, and he's going to use a PD technique, a post-drive technique. So right here, it should look very aggressive to these backers, and a good play fake should get, because we've been running the zone, a good play fake should get these backers to hold. Plus, they're playing 7 in the box, trying to play some type of 3 deep or whatever. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring a crossing route with the tight end. We're going to bring him across the field, and he's going to be anywhere from anywhere from 8 yards depth on a crossing route. And then we've run several things to this side. We've run clear, and then we run this Y on a different route where he steps inside and he runs on a bow route, like a 4-step bow route. And this Z runs a post. So basically the primary area that we work is high low to those two. But the thing that I want to emphasize is this looks just like the run initially to everybody. So this is Indy 7 Louis. All right, now if we block this versus an odd protection, it's going to be blocked differently. I say odd protection, an odd call. All right, let me go back and review what an even call is for us, and so you understand this. All right, so an even call for us is if one of those guards are covered by a down lineman, we make an even call, and it tells everybody in the building or everybody in the front what their protection rule is. So an even call tells them how to get lined up, tells them what kind of structure defense we have. This call would have been an even stack, and it tells them their rule. All right, now let's look at the rules on the overhead so you can kind of check those out so you feel you can get them jotted down if you have any questions. All right, here it is right here. Line over. I drew up exactly what I had. Line over 337. All right, there's an even call. So I said the play side tackle has got B-gap pick. The play side guard's got pull, boot pull. So it's a flat pull for 2 steps, and he's going to secure the quarterback with the first man off the tackle's hip. First man past the tackle's hip. He's going to secure the quarterback. The center's going to block back for the boot guard. If covered, he'll make a Danny call to let the backside guard know because it's called 337. Again, we have to learn it a little different in the room in the old line. 337 means boot right. All right, they learn it opposite. Backside guard, block and secure the A-gap. No threat, use the post-drive technique. Backside tackle, B-gap firm. B-gap defender. If you have a B-gap defender, make sure you use a post-drive technique. Tight ends in the route, the Z's in the route, the Y's in the route, the X's in the route. Fullback, let's be hard and let's sell the zone fake hard and block the C gap first thing off the hip. Quarterback, let's settle, take the shotgun snap, settle and ride back and boot out away from the run, boot out for pass with a run attitude. When we run this, we run this with a pass run attitude with our quarterback. We overemphasize that. Here are rules on the odd shotgun play action game, passing game with 336 and 337. What we want to do when we go to an odd structure is we got a few adjustments that we got to make up front, because an odd defense to us is a little different. When we say odd, I'm going to draw it up first. When we say odd, then basically we're telling all our guys up front. So we're going to run line over. This is our Y. This is our X. This is our Z. And let's say we're going to run 337, or it could be Indy 7 for us. All right, so we're going to fake the hard zone play this way. We're faking the zone play here. The back's responsible for the first thing off the tackle's hip. Now, if they're in an odd defense, we consider those 3 down linemen, and then we consider 4 backers. We've considered 4 backers to be in the scheme. That's what we think an odd is. We think it's a 3-4 scheme. 3-4 scheme. So if it's an odd call made by the center, and we got that look, we made an odd call, and we were running 337 or Indy 7, then we have to have a way to protect 2 off the edge. So our protection is going to change, and we have to understand that. What we went to many years ago when we were back at Tulane, when I was at Baylor, we just kept it simple. We were inside, and I like that. Line coaches always like to keep it simple. But what happens is there were too many problems. So we made our guys learn an odd call, and we made them understand what they had on an odd call. So basically, what we did is we went to a lock scheme on an odd call with no backer up. If the backer was up, then we made a gap call, we blocked it down. This guard right now is responsible for the A-gap. This center is responsible for the A-gap. They're going to do that on a post-drive technique, a PD technique. Again, I've got a drill tape on that, how we teach that technique. The guard is going to pull flat, and he's responsible for B-gap run-through on an odd call all the way to the outside backer. So if the B-gap run-through isn't a problem, this is what we went to, locking the tackle. We did this about when we got to Clemson, I guess about the second year. If there's no problem there, then he's going to continue on and go here. Now, if this backer blitzes and we lock him, maybe he's dropping, is what we're hoping. And then he's locked, and then we'll be able to pick up the backer that way and still do it. So if this is something you can do. Now, this tackle right here is still responsible for B-gap hinge right there. He's B-gap pick. He's got that. This tight end's in his route. He's going to block. He's going to be on a leveled route, and he's going to release and clear, and we're going to be able to work a high-low, and we can bring him across, or we can run a post, whatever we want to do. But the point is, that was the change that kind of we went through when we evolved around Indy 7, trying to do some different things. So we basically got that change. All right, now we'll move on to another protection and another look. Now I'm going to go to a different play in our shotgun series. I talked to you a little bit about earlier that we're basically going to work play action off of 3 basic plays: our zone series, our counter series. Those are the basic, the 2 top we're going to cover this time. And what I want to show you is now our counter series off of 300s. Now we're going to fake the counter play with the back and the quarterback, but the lineman, if it's a 300 series, will block. They're going to block the same rules that we just went over on boot right and boot left. So if it's 325, the way we taught this, I'm going to block boot right. So again, If I'm the play side tackle, I got B-gap pick. If I'm the backside guard, I got boot, pull, and secure the quarterback. First man past the tackle's hip. If I'm the center, I'm going to block back for the boot guard. If I'm the covered tackle, if the guard is, if I'm covered and I'm the center, then I'm going to make a Danny call. Back side guard, block and secure the A-gap. No threat, use post-drive technique. B-gap, firm for the place, the backside tackle. B-gap defender, post-drive technique. Everybody else is in the route, and nothing changes now, but we're going to sell the counter. And the quarterback's going to sell the counter, fake, and he's going to boot out with a pass-run option. He's going to think that way. All right, so let me draw that up and just show you the difference. Now, one of the things that we do when we run the counter, we love to run the counter to the open inside. So the difference right now in this whole deal is we'll sometimes keep the tight end and block him. If we don't give the tight end a route on this series, he's responsible for the C-gap. And actually, through this series, through time, if there is a C-gap defender there, we've let the tight end stay and we've taken him out of the route. But as a base rule, if we don't have a C-gap defender, let's say we had a 9 technique. I'll draw them both. He'd clear. He would clear right there. Then when we come back over here, we could run a 5-yard in and out. And across. Now all we're going to do is jab step here, open, and now it looks like we're running counter sprint. He's blocking the C-gap, the back's blocking the C-gap, he's bringing the ball to him to the mesh point. We're going to post-drive technique here. He's responsible for A-gap, he's responsible for B-gap. He blocks back, the tackle B-gap picks, outside for that gap, secures B-gap. The guard is the pulling guard, he's flat down the line. He's going to clear the center's hip, and then he's going to boot off the line, and he's going to secure that in. Quarterback rides, comes out, boots out, works forces downhill, and he can work the combinations. I mean, we've run all kind of combinations over here. We've run hitch, 7 steps flag off of that, which would have been a Mustang package. Pushes 7, steps 1, and then goes back to the flag, a 5-step hitch. We've run crease, where he would come out and he would push 6 steps, and he's out, and he's vertical. Those are the 3 that I can think of the most that we've run as a base. Now, again, let me review this versus a 7 technique, because now we're going to take the tight end out of the equation. And really, the only thing that's going to change, everybody's going to change. So anything that threatens the C-gap, as a rule, it could be a 9 and a sandbacker walk up. As a rule, we're going to go ahead, jab step, we're coming there, we got the C-gap, he rides, he's out, he blocks down, he walks up, he's making a down call, he's down, he blocks back, he pulls flat 2 steps, clears the center's hip, flat down the line, and now he works for depth, and he gets us on the corner. Of course, there's 2 things that we do right here I hadn't shared with you yet. Let me just kind of go over that. It can be kind of tough that when you talk about the guard. The guard's taught, we do the boot drill together. The guard and the quarterback do the boot drill together. And the thing that we try to teach them is when we pull flat here, and when I say pull flat, our pull process is we're down in the 3-point stance, left-hand stance. We're going to throw and open the hip, and then we're one. By our second, when we've thrown and opened, by our second step, we're hoping that we've cleared the center. So we're pushing off now, working an arc. working on arc for our boot drill. The center's going to be here, so we're hoping now by our second step we're working our arc. And now what we tell that guy to do is it's the same old rule. If he's on your grass, when you're going on your arc, if he's on your grass right here, there's your grass, then I want you to kick him. Your hat's inside, you press him. If he's on your grass, now if he's back on his grass because you made your arc, we want you logging 100%, and we'd like for you to cut him. And now the quarterback knows the same rule you got. So if he knows, if the guy, so let's say he jabs and he's coming here, he rides, he knows he's going to settle and ride because he's got to do what? He's got to let you clear. So the quarterback knows if this defender's high, then he needs to what? He needs to think, if he's real high on your grass, then he's going to have to get up underneath it. If this guy's hanging at all, he knows that we're getting the corner, and the quarterback's forcing the corner. And that's the boot drill that we'll do to help. But everything's based on grass on all pulls. So if I'm running, we'll go over this on some other lectures, but if the guy's on my grass at a point, then what I'm trying to do, if he's on my grass and I know he's on my grass, I can't leverage him, then I'm going to dig him out, hat inside, and the quarterback's going to get up underneath it. If the guy's hanging on his grass, and it's all based on where my alignment is, on my pull path. Now, let me go over an odd call versus this look. Now, remember I said earlier, an even structure defense is one of the guards are covered. Now let's go over an odd. So, again, we love to run this play where, away from the tight end, the counter play with jab step, we come here. He's a C-gap player, so he's first thing off the hip of the tackle. He's going to ride him, and then now it's going to give him time to clear, and now he can get outside of it, and now he can get outside of it. All right, now let's say it's an odd call. So if it's an odd call as a base rule, I said something to you earlier. Let's remember what I said to you earlier. I said if a base rule, an odd call is what kind of defense? It's a what? 3-4. It's a 3-4. 3 down lineman. All right. On this particular deal, we got two things we do. We can call 325 right here, and we can make a call that'll let these guys know, all of them, that we're just going to block at his gap and put him here. We're going to already make a gap call. I think the way we called it is 325 gap. We made a gap signal, and that changed their boot rule from the regular 300s that we talked about a while ago in 337. These guys blocked gap because we kept the tight end in because he's a C-gap player, and this tackle could be gap pick, and now we got him on the C-gap. Now, that's one way we did it. We've done it both ways. If we don't make a gap call in the protection scheme, we just call 325, then they're going to block their 300 rule that they do on 336 or 337. They're not going to change because they know boots 337 is just like boot right. So if it's this structure defense, a 3-4, has a base rule, this is what they're going to do. He's going to man that. They're going to PD that. He's A-gap, he's B-gap pick. So he's going to secure the B-gap. If there's any threat, he's flat down line. He's checking linebacker on a gut stunt. Anything coming up through that B-gap, no threat, then he's continuing on. Now, with this rule, if we do this, we make a lock call. That tells that tight end we're locking, he's in the route. So he can go in the route. And now we can still get everybody out. And we can still run 325 and do what we want to do. So we have two ways to do it. And just let me share that with you so you can have two ways to do it if you think you need to. Or you can be simple. When I was at Tulane, we did it one way all the time, and we never locked the tackle. We were always inside. So you choose what's best for you. All right, now, men, we're going to move on to our shotgun play action passing schemes, and we're going to go to our 425 series, our 400s. This is 424, 425. Now, this is the only one of these schemes that we actually block the play and we actually look. Let me go over the blocking scheme versus even and odd, and then we'll go over the rules. All right, so this is the only one that we actually block the play. We just felt like through the years, back when we were at Tulane, we've gotten so much mileage out of this play. Also, I'm going to do a video out of Coach's Choice on our reverses. And so I'll go over that later on, and we're going to do a video on that. So this is Rio Wing 425. We call this Vegas. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to run a fake. Vegas for us was a key word, and we would call this Rio Wing 425 Y Vegas. We'd signal all this. And Vegas was a key word to tell us that we were going to fake the reverse. 400's told us we were going to run the boot. 400 told the lineman what to do. The Y, 400 told the Y what to do. And Vegas told this play side guard kind of what, because if Vegas was a key word, it kind of tell us something right here on this play side. I mean, or the backside guard. He'd be backside guard. Because 425 is to the left. All right, so here we go. Let's say they lined up in an even structure. Let's go over this first, and then I'll go over the rules as they're written up. All right, let's say they line up in even structure. They got 6 in the box. So if they got 6 in the box, we know right now we got probably pretty good numbers. Let's say they're an 8-man front. Or let's say this is the Will, this is the Mike, and they bump the Sam. They got a strong safety corner, free corner. All right, so that's pretty much. They're probably pretty much man free, or 3 deep, or something like that. All right, so one of the things that we always love to do versus a single safety was take advantage of him, and we would actually run real wing, and we would fake the reverse this way, but he's going to come right here, and he's going to stop, and he's going to actually become a protector. When we catch the ball on the shotgun snap, we're going to sprint this way, and we're going to fake the reverse to the Y. Now, I'm doing a tape on the reverse game out of shotgun, and this is one of our big reverses, so we'll show that later on. But now the F back, this is our F, this is our Y, this is our H, this is our Z, this is our X. The F back now pins man on, or pins C gap. He's definitely going to pin the C gap area. If there's no threat in that C gap, just guy head on, he's going to try to work that one guy. Our center guard, those tackles guys, they're going to run the play 25, which we did earlier on Coach's Choice videos, which is our counter scheme. They're going to run their counter scheme, and they're going to block their counter rules. So if it's 425 and it's an even call, if the center does not have an A-gap defender weak, then he's going to make a me call. He's already made an even call to tell everybody what kind of structured defense we have. It tells everybody the rules. So he's going to make a me call, and that tells everybody that he's going to pull. He's going to, did this on coaching video, just on developing the shotgun center, the technique that we use on that pull. We saw that earlier today, but we're going to step with our right foot, and then we're going to open, gets us off the line, and then now we're off the hip, and we're blocking the C gap. We're blocking the C gap. And then if I'm the tackle here, and then if I'm the guard here, the left guard, my responsibility is A gap, aggressive A gap, use a PD technique. If I'm the left tackle here, my responsibility is B gap, so I use aggressive B gap PD technique. So they're really thinking aggressive. So he's in the B, he's in the A, I love this protection. He's going to block back, and he's got the single block. And the word Vegas tells him, because we can run 425 without Vegas call, and it would mean a totally different setup for this guy right here, this guard. Vegas tells him where the quarterback's going to be, too. Tells him the quarterback's going to sprint outside, fake the reverse. So now when I single this guy on 425, I want to lose this guy this way. So I'm gonna work middle of the man or play side half, kind of stretch that guy. If I lose him that way, I'm going to still be all right. We're going to have time to clear. I don't want to be blocking inside number and that guy running up in that gap and us be gone. We'll be in trouble. All right, everybody understand what I'm saying on the Vegas call? All right, so the tackle is responsible for pulling like he does on the counter, and he's taking the first thing 1 yard outside, right there tight, he's got the D gap. And the backs, the Y is actually extra. Now, we've done different things with the Y off of this. We played Wake Forest one year, and we did this right here. We came right down here, and we went vertical down the sideline. He ran that. Of course, I didn't talk about the H. The H is working a vertical route, and the Z is working a comeback route based on what the corner does. If the corner sinks, then he can shut it down, and he'll come back to the ball. The quarterback's rule is to sprint, fake the shuffle, and then we've always taught this with a run-pass option. So when we had Woody Dantzler, there'd be times we ran Vegas, 425 Vegas, and Woody'd be just running. Because these guys, look, man, if this guy right here, this safety, plays the reverse at all, and they're playing man-free, guys, you can figure it out. If they're playing man-free, he's running that way, and this backer is looking here, and he moves that way, and this safety's running with that H. There isn't anyone to be able to pull up that quarterback. So, I mean, we've gotten touchdowns out of this thing. Now, if they're playing zone, and that safety, they're playing 3 deep, and that safety works that way at all, then we got a vertical route going here. If that corner levels that one, we've thrown that one for touchdowns. Big plays, and kept us in ball games. So I'm giving you something here that's really good for us on a play action. It's something that we've used here. We've used this at Tulane. We used this at Clemson and had a lot of success and stayed in games with this thing right here. Now, if we get an odd structure and we want to run this Vegas, and let me just go over this. We can do this out of different formations. I'm just using this formation now. When we look at the video, we'll have some different formations on it. We'll go over it. But again, going through this is our H, this is our Y, this is our Z, this is our X. So let's say we're in Rio Wing. I did a video on Coach's Choice, and I ran the counter back over here with Woody Dantzler, and I showed the blocking scheme earlier and how we did this. And so we run the counter over there against North Carolina State, and we scored touchdowns, and we got it on the video. And the reason we believe in it. Now we come back and we run 425 Y Vegas, and we get an odd scheme. So they decide they want to play a 3-4 on us. Well, they can't really put 7 in there because they don't have enough to cover with. If they do that, they got a corner here, men, and you know good well they got a corner here, free, and a strong right here. So basically that guy's man there, right? So that's the only way they can do that if they put 7 in there and play maybe man-free. I mean man, 0 man. All right, so they got 7 in there like that. Let's say they got 4 weak right there. So we run the same play, 425. They're going to block. He's going to block his backside A-gap. He's going to give him a U-call. He's going to block the A-gap strong, aggressive, using the PD technique, post-drive. He's going to pull and block the first thing off the hip of the tackle. The tackle is going to be firm in the B-gap. The other tackle, this is the play side tackle because it's 25. The backside tackle is going to pull. He's blocking the first thing off his hip. And the quarterback is going to fake, because we said Y Vegas, he's going to fake, he's going to spread out, he's going to fake the shuffle to him, and now he's going to continue to run. Now it's the same deal. We're going to run a vertical route here. We're going to run a comeback route, all vertical based on what the corner does. And then we're going to run a vertical route here. That's the basic rule that we run it. And just release 3. And just stay strong with the quarterback. We don't use the Y in the route very seldom. That's just a change-up. But that's the Vegas rule. Now, let's just talk about, everybody says, what's going to happen here with the F? We just let the F back block that guy right there, the C gap. He's responsible for C gap. This guy's man, so he's probably going to hang. And the thing we count on is this guy trying to get the reverse, and basically we feel like we're going to be all right. The quarterback's going to be back. And it's a trickery. It's a play that you use. It's a trickery. It's a naked. So there's a lot of times on the backside on a naked, you don't block the end man. Now another way we run our nakeds out of our 400s. This is the shotgun nakeds, but I just want to show you some other things that we do. When we call 400s, we basically, if we wanted to run 436 and not pull somebody, we could do it that way. We could line up in our ace formation. They got 7 in the box. We could run 436 this way. That tells the lineman drop, cross, run, drop, cross, run, drop, cross, run, drop, cross, run. And now we're showing the zone fake hard that way, and now we're booting out the other way. And the quarterback's riding this hard, and then he's booting out. If we get any pressure, there's this hot rule right here to go to this guy first. And this is 2 different levels. This guy's on about a 4-yard route, and this guy's on a cross about 10 to 12. All right, now we're going to get into the video. All right, we're going to review 336, 337 first, and we'll look at the protection, and then we'll just see how this goes. Also, this, like I said to you earlier, this is an Indy 7 play. It'd be Indy 7 Roger, Indy 7 Louis. All right, now let's just talk about the formation we're lined up in. All right, we're lined up in line formation, so we're going to run the boot back into the boundary. We've done that a lot too. So we're going to fake the zone this way, and we're going to run the boot back over there. So it'll be boot right. This will be Indy 7 Louis or 337. All right, let's see what the route is that we run with it. All right, we ran him off. We ran the crossing route this time with him, flat. We got the over route with the Y. We got him on a deep route. But let's look at the protection. Let's just look at the protection. Let's see what the breakdowns are if we got any. All right, now the first thing I'd say to this right here, I'd give this right tackle a minus because undoubtedly he don't understand what I want. I want to be more aggressive than that. So he's showing pass. He needs to have his pads down even though he's got air in there. He's confused. This tackle's right. He's aggressive in there. B-gap picking. That's fine. Let's see if the guard's going down aggressive. He's aggressive. The backside guard's pulling. Center's aggressive. Everybody's right except Brantley. All right, now the guard's got him leverage. Woody's on the corner. He's got some chance to do something. All right, we'll go to another one. All right, now this was an Indy play. This is good. We saw on Coach's Choice video on Indy plays. We use this as an Indy play, a fast tempo play. The reason I know this is an Indy play is I'm watching the defense. If the defense guys is running around to get lined up and then we're fixing to snap the ball, then you know it's an Indy play. All right, and the reason I love this as an Indy play, and we've always loved this, Coach Rod brought this to Tulane, Coach Rodriguez up at West Virginia, is because we feel like this tempo, all of a sudden we run a run, and then all of a sudden we run a play action. All right, here we go. So we're running ram formation. We got tight end, we got the Y, we got the Z, we got the X. We're in the boundary. We're going to fake the F-back downhill. The F-back's responsible for C-gap. He's got the first thing off this guy. If I'm the backside tackle rule is B-gap pick. There you go. He's good. All right, now, Kyle, the center, is blocking back A-gap, backside A-gap. Will Merritt's flat, the right guard's flat, 2 steps, gets on the track and gets him logged. All right, play side tackle should be in the B-gap firm. I wish we were a little bit firmer. I wish we were hiding the numbers a little bit better. And the guard, this is early, this is 2001. We may have changed this. But it's obvious that I didn't get this coached up the way I want it coached up. But we're a little bit more aggressive here. We're a little bit more aggressive here, but just not as good as we can be. This is a little bit better. It got pretty good execution on it. All right, that's 336. This is, okay, this will be 337, will be Ram 336, I'm sorry. It'll be Indy 7 Roger. So we're going to fake the zone this way. We're going to come on back with the tight end here. We're going to release. We'll probably run an over route with the Y, and we'll get something going. Tight end be primary target. All right, we did kind of run it over, but we're pushing and trying to get over there. But the tight end is the primary target. All right, we're running a deeper over route than we've run in the past. We're running a deep bend. There it is. He's trying to hit that guy. And he does. All right, here's the tackle securing the B gap. Here's the guard securing the A gap. Center's blocking the backside A gap. We said something about the tackle backside B gap picking. He's got a B gap threat, so he's secured it. Now look at him pick out. The back's responsible for getting a good little ride, try to give us a good play fake. Woody does a good job of riding that guy. Watch Woody right here, the quarterback, number 1, Woody Dancer. Watch him get a little, he catches the ball right there, good snap by Kyle, blocking back. He's the center. He catches the ball right there, gets a good little ride. He's giving the guard time to clear. Look at the guard. The guard's time to clear. Now he can log for him. The guard's got him in the corner. No, Woody wanted to throw that. The guard doesn't know that he's going to pull up, so the slice backer got him, but Woody got it in there. Nice play by Derek Hamilton. He catches the ball and runs off with it. All right, now we're going to go to Vegas. This will be 425 Y Vegas. We fake the counter sweep to this guy. Woody's going to sprint this way. The F-back's going to block the edge like we talked about. There's no threat in the C-gap, so he'll block the edge. So now we got the quarterback on the corner. All right, the routes, they're vertical. Now watch this. We're just working this combination on this side. I don't know why we had a hitch built in over there. We released him or whatever, but we got a hitch built in or maybe ride bust. But the point is, there's your comeback route. There's your vertical route. Woody's going to hit the comeback. Now let's look at the video from the end zone, and let's see the blocking. What we talked about earlier, the counter. If the center has nobody in that A gap with an even structure, he's making a me call. Guard blocks back. Now see, remember we talked about the guard trying to make sure he got leverage on the guy and lose the guy back here. Remember we talked about that with the Vegas call? That's what it tells him. If I'm going to lose the guy, lose him that way. You saw the guard zoned over pretty heavy. Now the guy's going to be pretty athletic and get back. But the point is he's zoning over there. And again, watch the play side. They're going to block down gaps. And then we got, just like the counter, he's there, he's actually there. The Y is actually there giving a great play fake. Because if we were in Vegas and we were giving the Y, right here would be an example where, now TJ's making a mistake here. TJ shouldn't chase. 73, when he slams that guy, he should stay in that A gap because that may be the guy he picks up. But the point is, we get the comeback route, and now you got what you want. All right, we'll see a couple more of these. That's good effort by a lineman down there. That's what I love about that guy, that Watkins. I mean, he's down here, he's fixing to get one. That's what we like. All right, now here we go. We're going to Vegas, 425 Y Vegas. All right, we're in Rio Wing. We got an even structure again, so this must be the second time we run against Georgia Tech. All right, we still look like we're running the counter Y Vegas. We fake it. Woody's out here on the perimeter. There you go. You got the comeback route again. It's a nice throw for a quarterback that's a shorter guy. Gets him on the perimeter where he can see. and he gets a nice little route. Now, this one, we didn't do a real good job up front, but I just wanted to show the route. We pull, there's a rule I got to go over that I didn't go over with you. These guys busted this rule, and I'll go over this for you because they shouldn't have any penetration. But there's an example of hitting the deep guy. That's what I was talking about. They're in zero coverage. So, I mean, this guy even plays the reverse, and now you just get you a touchdown. This kept us in the game one year. Now, let me go over this rule because we bust this, and I feel bad about this. All right, now look. Anytime you run the counter, if both the A and the B gap are full away from the call, the center cannot pull, so he locks, they make a call, and it just pulls one, the tackle, and he blocks him. In fact, on that Coach's Choice video, we ran 25 against the same team a couple years later, and we busted for a touchdown. He'll block gap, he'll block gap, he'll block gap, he'll block gap, and we can only pull one. And the call that we used to use is breeze. He blocks back, he blocks back, he blocks back, he blocks back, he pulls one, and they should have made that call. That's poor job by them. It's poor job by me because they wasn't prepared for it. But I wanted you to see this touch.